Hi guys, welcome back to Christian Banter Podcast. I'm your host Shikunjagi, and it is such a pleasure to have you guys here today. Now, we are still continuing in season 1 of Flawed but Faithful, and today we're doing episode 3, and we're here with a beautiful guest, but I'll let her introduce herself. But just before we get into the heart of this conversation, have you liked, have you shared, have you commented, have you subscribed? Please go to our YouTube channel, do all of the above, then follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Apple, and what's the last one? Spotify. Looking forward to seeing you guys there, and let's jump into our conversation today. Right, so guys, we are back with season 1, episode 3, and today I'm joined by an amazing guest, guys. Honestly, I've been looking forward to hosting this beautiful lady, this woman of God, and I do not want to water down her introduction. I want her to introduce herself so that you guys can also get to know her as you hear her voice. Laura,
Yeah.
what's up?
What's up?
Angalia camera yetu and let us know who you are and then how you feel being on this podcast.
Okay, my name is Laura Nzisa. I'm a Mrs. Gatehi. I'm a Mama Caitlin.
There's more.
Yes. I am a professional vocalist. I teach music as well. Yeah, at the moment that's what I do. I'm a professional BGV as well.
BGV ni nini kwa
BGV ni mse mwenye usually do background vocals for adverts, for artists. Right now, my life is really centered around music. Yes.
Wow, that's beautiful. So quick question, because I don't know how to sing even happy birthday. Do you think I am redeemable?
Z.
No?
No. Wait, I was joking.
I know.
So we usually say that they are not good or bad singers. They are just trained and untrained.
So me, I'm untrained.
You are untrained.
But there is hope for me.
Yes, there's always hope for everyone.
Hallelujah. And there is hope for you as well. If you have not given your life to Christ, the time is now. There is hope in Christ.
Amen.
Laura.
Yes.
Today we have been discussing the topic flawed but faithful. Simply to mean we all have flaws, we all have thorns in our flesh that we struggle with, but we choose to be faithful to Christ Jesus. And so when I was thinking about bringing you on board, I couldn't help but think we need to first hear your journey of redemption. Who was Laura BC? Who was Laura before Christ? What did she believe in? What was her life like? And then we'll slowly, gradually come into who is Laura post knowing Christ, right? Because we want to see this transformation. We want to see how the Lord has just worked through your life through and through. So, in your own words, who was Laura before Christ?
Laura before Christ was... Damn.
Yeah.
Well, when I think about Laura before Christ, she was everything and anything this world can offer. I worked in a corporate industry, then later did one or two things for the world. Hey, Laura before Christ was something.
She was quite something, yeah?
She was quite something.
For the world, what does for the world mean in this case?
For the world means I did everything and anything. The worst you can think of, it's beyond that.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Do you want to expound?
So most people would say, when you're thinking about a woman being for the world, they would really go into the lines of being sleeping on different beds more than a patient. I'm not talking about that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things that we did to survive. I was brought up in the ghetto, and then went to a semi-ghetto because K-South bado tu ni ghetto. And then after I left my parents' house, I went into my own home where I went back to the ghetto again. Went to Dandora, lived in Dandora for a while, then went back to K-South. So it's just really an Eastern's life.
You're in survival mode through and through.
Survival mode through and through. Even though later on, like I said, I joined the corporate industry, but I did not stay in the corporate industry for long. And when I left the corporate industry, life had to be taken. Life had to move on.
Yeah, it had to, yeah.
Bills had to be paid. And so I think after I left the corporate industry, I had to find ways to live.
Yeah.
I had to find ways to fend for myself. Because I left home when I was very young. I was barely 18. And so you've left home life has to continue.
Life has to continue.
Life has to continue. So you become PD.
Pause.
My
Pause.
God.
Before we jump into that,
Yeah.
how was life growing up for you? Do you call it peaceful? Because I understand obviously there are dynamics in ghetto, like you said. What was it like for you, like an everyday? You know, right now we're seeing a lot of extrajudicial killings. We are seeing a lot of violence being meted against young people. Did you experience this? Did you hear of these things when you were growing up? Or what was it like for you? Paint for us a picture.
Growing up in H-Town, you'd grow up to become three things. If you're a girl, get pregnant or get married to some old man or area. Number two, if you're a girl, maybe you become those, what we call...
Girls of the night.
Ay, girls of the night, hata ni jina poa sana. You become a kuro.
Oh.
And then if that's not it, you become what we call the inside man. You are the one who's going to be used by thugs. Because unajua dem, hakuna mtu anaweza shuku dem. And then for the boys, it's normal. Uingie maisa. Na kama hauko maisa, we ni dingo. Na kama we si dingo, wetu ni dingo.
Dingo inamaanisha nini for those who don't understand?
Dingo, I mean maybe it's not your normal thief. A dingo is something beyond just a normal thief, because a thief will just steal normal things. But when you're a dingo, you are beyond just normal. Uibe mama sufuria ya wenyewe.
Kuku ya mtu hapo, mbuzi
kuku ya mtu. Kuiba kuku hiyo ni normal.
Hiyo ni constant.
Hiyo ni constant. Juu watu watakulaje? Yeah, so it's beyond just normal. What we call, what's the word I'm looking for?
So you're doing guns, I assume.
Yes.
By the time you're dingo, you're doing violence, you're doing guns, you're doing grand thefts, things like that. You're contemplating carjacking, hijacking.
Carjacking.
Hizo ni kawaida.
Hizo ni kawaida. Hizo ni kawaida.
Hey.
And seeing people die every day was normal. Seeing people being burnt was normal. Waking up and finding a body on the street, normal. That was normal for us. Even for a douchefuga like me. A douchefuga, I mean, like my mom would not let us play outside. So the only time that we got to go outside, ni kama unaenda kununua mboga. But even though I didn't play outside, according to my mom,
that's her version of the story.
That's her version of the story. We did play outside, hata kama akisema ati sisi tulikuwa madouchefuga. But seeing violence for us was normal. Waking up to a body in the dump site was normal, because where we lived, there was a dump site behind our building. Like, nikikuja kwa hii balkoni ya nje, hapo nyuma ni dump site.
Ya bodies, ama ya everything.
Ya takataka ya kila kitu. So, waking up and finding a body there,
it was kawaida. When was the first time, if you remember, you ever saw a dead body?
Tulikuwa grao ya Huruma. I don't know if it's still there. I haven't been in Huruma in 25 years. Or more, I don't know. And we were going to church because we were raised Catholic.
Right.
So tukipitia grao from our home, unakuta msee amelala kwa barabara. Amelala katikati ya grao. So seeing people sleeping kwa grao ilikuwa normal.
Okay.
But sasa tumetoka church, tumeenda ilikuwa inaitwa tumeenda jumuiya. CLG, Community Life Group. So tumeenda, and then when you come back, wasi wamezunguka umse. Alafu, the first time when we passed there, the person was like face down. But right now, this person is no longer face down. So when the body was stabbed, so unaona actually seeing that this person was like literally stabbed. And it was so fun for us to see that.
Oh my word, fun?
We used to enjoy. I think, yani, it's growing in the ghetto, so seeing a dead body, so you have stories to tell your friend. Like, did you see how their eyes were? Did you see how his tongue was? So that was my first body. And
oh dear Lord.
Yeah, si amekufa.
And you just moved on to...
You continue with life. So now the next day when you're going to school, you have things to tell your friends.
You have a story.
Like, jana tulona si amekufa.
So what other kids were seeing in movies, nyinyi mlikuwa mnaona real life, and then now you go tell them as stories.
It's normal because I went to my Forces Academy. And most of them were cool kids, according to me. Yeah, most of them were cool kids. Koma, if you lived in Koma,
kids have always been cool kids.
If you lived in Buru, woo! If you lived in Plateau, woo! Cool kid.
Deep state.
Deep state. Hao ni akina unyoto. But for us, when we went to, when I joined my forces, it was, that was a cool kids school. So when you come and tell them these stories, they're like,
That's crazy, bro.
that's so crazy. I'm like, nini,
Yeah,
mtu amekufa.
umezelewa.
Yeah, that is how it was for us.
But I'll go back to that ni mtu amekufa. It means kids growing up in the ghetto have been programmed or got programmed so much to violence and desensitized to this kind of pain. And one way or the other, it shapes your life with or without your knowledge. Maybe later is when you start seeing the side effects. You're like, oh, actually that wasn't normal. That's
That
not
was
what
very
7-year-old kids are supposed to be
It's not
saying.
something that a child, I wouldn't even allow my child to see someone who has been beaten up. I wouldn't even allow my child to watch something that is very violent.
Yes.
At this point in my life, I wouldn't even allow her to be anywhere near violence because this is not something normal. Your brain is not wired to look at such things and feel like it's something very entertaining. It's not supposed to be something that you are looking forward to look at. The next, when you find the next body, you are eager to see how dead or how burnt or how bad.
How different is it even from the last one?
From the last one that you want to compare. No, that is not something I would allow my children to even come close to. So living in the ghetto was the things that we saw, even waking up and finding syringes, used CDs, all these things, watching someone being raped.
Oh no.
It's not something that as an adult I would allow any child from this generation to look at it and say, oh, this is quite entertaining. I wouldn't want anyone to go that direction.
And you know, you're saying that, and I'm thinking, going back to scripture as well, when you told the devil loves to steal, kill, and destroy, he chooses to steal the innocence of kids at such a young age and kill your humanity as quickly as possible. Because, Laura, let's be honest, you're one of the few people who managed to get out of there alive. Because you could have been a statistic like any other person. So the devil has stolen your innocence. He's killed your humanity. And last but not least, he wants to use you as an agent of destruction. And that's why you were saying there's a way most kids from such places end up. They either become, you said dingo, right?
Yes, you become a dingo.
Yeah.
Kwekuro. Or you play for the Maisa.
Oh, dear.
And most of us would think Maisa is the best way to go. But after the football game, where else am I going? I'm going back to the same ghetto. After the match, we've won, yes. Then after the match, you're going back to the same environment. So your life is not really changing. Because so many a time we could be watching a match, and in the middle of a match, I don't want to call them a rogue officer, but because these boys were really violent.
Let's call it as is.
And so the police officer would enter the match, in the middle of the match, and would be like, kuja hapa, mlalisha chini, papa.
Why?
Mwingine ameshika, papa. Mwingine ameshika, papa.
Live bullets.
Hizi watu mlete kwa station.
Live bullets.
And
they're dead.
And ukifuatilia, hao watoto wenye walikuwa wanauliwa, kenye pia wamefanya. Si kitu ati unaweza sema
it's worth death.
Sometimes it was worth death because the gangs were not
easy.
It's not even easy. The gangs were not what's the word I'm looking for? Were not merciful. They were not merciful. Tukiamua kupita na wewe tunapita na wewe na nyanyako na kila mtu wenu. Unaona? So it's how the enemy would make that feel normal. So whenever there was a match, tulikuwa tunataka kusema wacha tuone nani anaangushwa leo. Tuone kwa it. So everybody would come and watch the match in expectation to see who's going next.
The drama, quote unquote, the drama.
The drama.
Oh dear Lord.
It was not just about the game. It was also about what else we would see. What else? What more is going to come out of this game? So, the enemy is very good at making sure that your innocence is taken in ways, in steps. I usually tell my friends, whenever you open a door for the enemy, he does not just want a door opened. A small crack is enough. Unaona how we usually crack our toilet windows open. That's how he doesn't want you to open the door wide open.
A window
just
is
a
enough.
small crack in the window, and he's like, Wacha niingie.
With all his 7 demons.
With everything, he comes with his clan.
Yeah.
That's how the enemy works. He will not just come and knock at your door and aya sawa mimi shetani nimekuja. That's not how he works.
Yeah.
He just waits for a small crack and that's it. That's enough for him. So yeah.
And now I'm imagining the number of people or families have been stuck in these patterns because, for example, that gang killed my mom. So I go into another gang so that I can,
Wow.
I'm sure there's such scenarios.
Retaliation is real.
Oh, dear.
Retaliation is real. You will do something to my sister. Maybe my sister likes you. And then this boy is like, you're not my type.
For who?
Wewe na nyanyako na makuzo, mamako, babako, walai mamangu.
They're going to be killed. Or worse.
Killing
is a form of mercy in this case.
Is a form of mercy because you know it's just it's too fast.
Oh, dear
Killing
Lord.
is too fast.
So you grow up in H-Town. You move to K-South.
Yeah.
Then you move to Dandora.
Yes.
All this you're experiencing different environments. Well, same violent environment, but just different places.
Yes.
And you've said you were Catholic growing up.
Yes.
Did you ever feel like you had room for God? Did you ever feel like you've encountered God through all this, at least through your childhood, before we get into your teens stroke early 20s? Do you feel like you ever knew who God was?
And I'm not saying this to annoy anyone or to be a religious, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. But for me, in my experience, growing up Catholic, I was a staunch Catholic, Roman Catholic to be specific. And I loved going to church. Because for us, my mom would send us to church when there was an event, when there was a wedding, for us to eat.
Right. Oh, yeah, by the way. Yeah, because food is a privilege.
Food is a privilege in the ghetto.
Oh, dear.
Because growing up, we didn't have much. Growing up, we didn't have much. And so when my mom would send us, because she was in the choir, so for us to be in church was a plus for us, because maybe the choir would have an event, and we would eat to our fill.
Lakini mchele ya church ilikuwa tamu.
Hai! Wacha nikwambie, haina chumvi lakini.
Alafu chai haina sukari ya kutosha.
Na jua yenye ni rangi tu. Na ni moto.
Hey. Sasa jua ilikuwa moto.
Jua ilikuwa moto, sijui kwa nini walikuwa nafikiria nikao kunywa jua baridi ati sijui utashikwa na pneumonia sijui nini.
Na I think walikuwa na dilute. Hiyo kitu ilikuwa inaitwa nini? Juice cola.
Ilikuwa hot water. Ilikuwa juice cola. Ilikuwa juice cola lakini ilikuwa moto lakini ilikuwa tamu.
Very nice.
But wezi nikuta sahi.
Hapana. Wale sijui walipotosha wakapeleka wapi.
Sijui, so we would go to church.
Right.
We eat. And then as I kept on going to church, so you have to do something called catechism. And then after catechism, when you finish your classes, my catechism teachers were amazing. His name was Vitalis and the woman was Ruth. Those people were amazing. They made my time during catechism very smooth. After catechism, you enter classes for confirmation. And then immediately after confirmation, I became an altar girl. And for me, because of seeing the kind of life that was around me, I started thinking, you know what? I wouldn't mind being a nun.
It's a best case scenario, really.
Best case scenario, because the nuns, according to me, were living the life.
They live in a monastery.
They travel.
And they wear white.
Travel. They travel. I really wanted to live.
So you were looking for safety. That is giving safety.
Safety and consistency. I didn't know that word existed in my vocabulary then, but when I look back, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for some kind of consistency, some kind of safety net. And so I became an altar girl for 6 months. For 6 months. And then when you're an altar girl, you get to go to what we call Cheshire. Let me tell you, I enjoyed going to Cheshire. Cheshire is where they keep the old people with no families, and I would stay with the old people, and I was enjoying my time there. And the nuns that were taking care of the fathers, because they're called fathers, the priests are called fathers, they would have such good food. I didn't know I was a foodie then.
I like the way, your stories are very consistent. Everything is about food. You were looking for something that felt like home.
That felt like home. And when there's a point when I sat down with a friend of mine who was a nun then, and she told me the truth about something that I could not stomach.
Right.
But we kept going to church because I loved how my mom's choir would sing. They were the best choir. And they would sing really nice, but something broke. Something broke. I stopped being an altar girl, and I stopped enjoying going to church. And the only time we would go to church, we would go for events, and the only time we'd have keshas as Catholics is when it's during the Easter Friday.
Yeah, the vigil, I think.
And then people would get married, and it was so fun. The next day you'd come back, and there would be different receptions, and you'd eat from different tables, and it was amazing. But there wasn't really a relationship. Because from what I understood was I have to go and tell somebody my sins, and then that person will go to God and intercede on my behalf. And somehow it started not feeling right for me.
Because
I started feeling, saa huyu saa God yako mbali, sasa ni wa nini, unaona? Acha mimi niishi maisha yangu. So by the time I'm leaving home when I'm 17, because I was very young. I was very young when I went to live in my own house. But that's a story of another day. How I went to live alone. It's, hey, you need a siku enda kuchapia.
I will call you back, I assure you.
So, because it's that traumatizing. It's that bad.
Oh dear.
And so when I went to live in D, I had met this girl in at 17. I had just finished my high. Kumaliza form 4 for me was and it was a triumph for me. Juu mimi form 1 nilisoma only term 2 na half of term 3. Hiyo mwaka ikaisha hivyo. Form 2 sikusoma term 1, nilisoma only term 2. Term 3 sikusoma, hiyo ikaisha hivyo. Mimi bro, story of another day.
Mambo ni mengi.
Form 3 nilisoma only term 2, so term 1 na term 3 mimi sikufanya mock.
Bro.
Form 4 bro, mi term 1 guy nafaa ku register kama nini
candidate.
Kama candidate. Mimi niko Buru nauza viatu na sister yangu na hazi yake. So kidogo ndio nimetupa ocha. Nimengangana yani kumaliza form 4. Mimi nilikuwa nasema unajua ni mimi si repeat. Mimi hakuna vile na repeat. Kaende mimi mtihani mimi nifanye, na ukweli yenyewe I did well. I even ended up becoming a student president for Eastern Province. Wow. So me mse yani kumaliza form 4 for me was everything.
It was a lot, yeah.
So all that drama nikaenda kwangu at 17 in Dandora. I had met a girl in August. I was the only one who knew her. I don't even remember how we met. And then I told her, because she was living kwa hizi main zenye alafu sasa zina rentiwa ni to single. So nikamwambia, hey, I really like this house. Haina mlango, haina stima, but I really fell in love with that house. Yeah. And I told her, but then kimaliza shule, mi hapa kutakuwa hii ndio itakuwa kijangu ya kwanza. So when I finished because my physics paper was the last paper. Nikakuja Nairobi, drama happened, I moved to my home. My first night, I had to fix my own door. Kajitengenezea stima, kajivutia maji. It's Dandora, come on. Lazima ujishughulikie. So I didn't know where I was living. Ilikuwa ni zabe ya gang fulani. Sikuwa najua hiyo tiplo nilikuwa naishi. Hiyo tiplo tu yenye naishi ilikuwa ni place yenye gang hiyo area walikuwa wanaishi. Because I was just a nice girl. Giza midnight. Nilikuwa nakaa midnight. At least saini pesa imenyosha kidogo. So mimi sikuwa msee wa mambo mob. So they would come to my house, ni aje walikuwa pelanga kuita Mpokot. I don't know why. Ni aje Mpokot, tuko na mbulu fulani hapa. Sawa.
I see how it can give ndongo emanani.
You guy. So wanakuza niko na mbulu fulani hapa, let us so. I had not seen Mbulu is a TV.
Oh.
I have never seen a flat screen TV before.
Yeah. And speaks of the 100 bob.
100 bob, but uje tunakamia, sawa? Mimi niko na mbulu, bro. Niko kwangu, niko na mbulu like
uko na mlango.
Nyumba yangu I think ilikuwa 10 by 10, but
uko na mlango.
Niko na mbulu.
Na ni kwako.
Ni kwangu. Niko na mbulu, niko na difre, fridge, niko na fridge ya LG. Niko na carpet. Niko na mattress zingine. Yani hizi mattress zinadingi, what are they called? Water mattresses. And so they would bring these things and then later they would come for them.
Why?
Because wamepata customer. Mimi nilikuwa I was the holding area. Nilikuwa holding area. So wataniletea this time nitakuwa na Samsung, kesho nitakuwa na fridge ya LG, hiyo siku ingine nitakuwa na TV ya LG.
And
so
you never questioned where they were coming from?
I never questioned ever. And so sometimes they would tell me niko na package fulani, unaweza nishikia nini nitakudunga. Bro, mimi unajua I just arrived. I just arrived. So I would live like really, really well. I had a boyfriend then, and he also never questioned. He barely knew so much about it. Pia ni story of another day.
Ni story ingine.
And so my life in Dandora for some time, it was like really, really nice. Until this one time, I'm coming from an event, and then ile matenye nimepanda, the boys who were seated behind me wako like, hey, phase 3 hakuna job, phase 3 hakuna kitu, wacha tuingie phase 5, tuone kama tunaweza pitana idha. Niko like, wait, I'm going to phase 5. Either what they mean is they're looking for someone to rob. So I am the either, because I'm also alating at phase 5. And so I gathered my courage.
Right.
We dropped from the matatu. And then while I was walking, the boys were still walking behind me. And imagine I had money in my bag. I had just come from an event. And they were following me. And when we got to that area, they saw where I was entering. So from my assumption, when I was opening the gate, they were like, hey, madam, we are sorry. We are sorry, manze, pole sana. And then they left.
Because they realized now you live in a gang area.
They realized I'm living in a gang.
Like you're a hood person, so they can't
I'm not
rob
what
you.
they thought I was. And so they left. They didn't take anything from me. So on a different day, I was coming back as well from my mom's place because my mom was living in K South. And I was heading to my home in D. And in that area, seeing crowds is very normal because most of the time boys would be dropped like flies.
Oh dear. By dropped you mean killed?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this one time, I'm coming from my mom's place at around 3-4 EV. And then in my area, hey, there's so many people. And when I look at where people are standing, they're actually standing outside my building. So, you know, I have to charm myself out in between the crowd and see what's going on. Kumbe, every single tenant in my... every single tenant in that area, aliangushwa.
They were all killed?
Every single one of them.
The whole gang?
Everyone. Everyone. Everyone.
So you only got lucky because you were outside?
You see the girl I was telling you that we were friends?
Yeah.
She that building belonged to an uncle of a brother of a sister.
Somebody
They were living with two... her brother and the wife, or is it the sister with the husband? They had like a small son. They had, I don't know how to explain. Someone who lives in D, they understand how the houses are usually are.
Okay.
And so, I just went, picked up my stuff, and left. Nikaenda kwa ule beste yangu. Si tulikuwa kunaishi kwa hiyo... I don't know how to explain the layout.
Yeah, let's just say it's an estate
so
somewhere.
It's somewhere estate. There's a place called Mwisho.
Okay.
And so I went back to my friend and I told her, hey, Mimi, kami natoka D.
This is it for me.
This is it for me. I can't live here.
And were you still holding packages? I know we'll get to the packages.
I had active packages.
From
I had
these guys.
Active
Packages. Yeah.
And you see this boyfriend I was telling you about, he didn't even know that I had these things.
No. When he didn't know anything about you, this person?
They thought they did.
They thought they did.
Because for me, I'm a person who's independent Pro Max. Independent Pro Max. I was a person who believed that the world starts with me and ends with me. If I don't do it for myself, nobody else is going to do it. Because that's the card that the world had handed me.
That's true.
And so I went and talked to this friend of mine and I told her, hey, Mimi. So I went and lived behind my mom's building. They didn't even know that I was back in K South again. And so that's when I decided to enter the corporate industry. And I did really, really well in the corporate industry. in a very short period of time, I rose up in ranks and I started traveling a lot. So I was barely home. I was earning good money. And life was, for some reason, life was now being
Kind to
very,
you for once.
being very kind. So when my corporate job ended, I had to find means to provide for myself. And fortunately enough, my daughter was already in my life.
Right.
But, you know, you cannot tell people that I lost my corporate job. I still woke up, dressed as if I'm going to work. Because from the connections from that team,
Right.
they gave me connections to another team. And this is a life that so many people did not know existed. I'm sure there are some people who will be listening to this and they're like, what?
Yeah, this whole time you didn't have a job.
This whole time haukuwa na job. This whole time, wait, what? No, that didn't exist.
Right.
And so I kept carrying these packages and I kept making money.
Do you want to define what these packages are?
Yes.
Okay.
So this one time we had rent arrears of around 80K because I think the one bedroom I was living in K South was, I think, 9,500. And we had not paid rent for like a really long time. I just remember it's 80K.
Yeah.
And I tried to talk to my dad to send me some money, and he said, you know, Mom, I'm not really in a good place. But bills have to be paid.
Yeah.
People have to eat. I have stolen somebody's chicken kwa stairs. Aki, I'm sorry. Jirani yangu kugundua ni mimi nilipanga hiyo kuku. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry because I remember my neighbor.
Paid it all.
I remember my neighbor complaining and cursing the person who was stolen that chicken. But we were hungry.
Yeah.
Bro, we were hungry and the only thing I had was water.
Yeah.
And my daughter is out here asking me, Mom, nipe tu kitu yoyote. I'm like, bro, I not stole a chicken.
Yeah.
We cooked.
Yeah.
We ate for 2 days.
Yeah. But
life continued. I'm really sorry if my neighbor, if you ever see this, I'm really sorry I'm the one who stole it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I get in touch with those people and some of the connection, because the more you're living with these people, the more people you get to know. And so, because I don't really want to give a lot of information,
of course, yeah.
So I told them I'm in a really bad spot. We got chased from our house at around between midnight and 3 in the morning. And so we walked to Buru with my daughter on my back. And then a good Samaritan just carried us all the way to Mlolongo Phase 5, where my sister used to live.
Yeah.
And I told this, please, can you please just stay with my daughter? I need to go and look for money.
Yeah.
And so I went to what I knew best.
Yeah.
And they said, the good thing about you, you are very invisible. Because when I enter a room, I don't like being the obnoxious person.
Right.
And being that person who's rarely the life of the room, for you to blend in is very easy. And so he said, I'll give you
a package.
I'll give you a package, and this is what I will pay you after you've delivered. And I'm like, for real?
It's a crazy figure.
Yo, Hati?
Yeah.
E2?
Yeah.
E2?
Yeah.
The package.
Yeah.
Took it to where I was supposed to take it. And I was like, bro, I've been struggling.
That was so easy.
That was so easy. And so he said, we can continue with this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm available.
Yeah.
So I would wake up, dress up as if I'm going to work, go and take a package and drop it. My bills were paid.
Yeah.
Food was in my house.
Yeah.
But there are things that I saw during this delivery and receiving and forwarding and clearing
Yeah.
that for some reason I should be scared. But I would just stand there and watch whatever was happening, and I didn't flinch.
Yeah. Because remember also when you were a kid, you'd already seen these things. You've been desensitized to some extent.
I felt nothing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I was just there to get my what? My bag.
Did you ever witness someone being,
Yes.
yeah, unalived?
And I didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
I didn't even feel remorse. I didn't feel anything because the life that I had was expecting so much from me. My daughter is here. I don't have any means to fend for her. So at the end of the day, I also have someone who's also on my back asking me how bills are going to be paid. Him making sure that, hey, we itabidi umeenda kuhustle. And so that's what I did. The things that when I think about them, I usually tell myself I will never allow them, I will never allow myself to give them any light of the day because of how bad those things were.
Wow.
But I had to hustle.
You had to hustle.
I had to make a life for myself. I had to, bills had to be paid, and nobody was there for me but myself. And there was this little human who's there, and they're struggling.
They're waiting on
There
you.
are times I would really ask these people, I need a package.
Yeah.
I need you to send me somewhere. I need you to tell me what to do because I need, and they will tell me not yet. And they will tell me you have to wait. And they'll tell me rada ni chafu. And they will tell me all these things. But the life that and I was not living an extravagant life because I'm not extravagant. Even right now with money, I'm not an extravagant person. I think I'm more of a frugal person. I will only spend on things that I will
really
spend on
have
you.
to. Yeah.
I'll spend on you, but I will rarely spend on myself. I'll spend on my child. I'll spend on my husband, but I will rarely spend on myself. I'm still struggling with frugality, and I would beg them and say, "Simnitie a job," and they would say, "Not yet, not yet." Wow. Yeah.
Hold that thought, Laura.
Yeah.
That marks the end of our first episode with Laura. For more information, let's get to see how she got transformed. How did she move from delivering packages, from this life where you've experienced so much violence, and to knowing Christ and becoming this soft person and agreeing for God to be your father, right?
Yes.
So we'll see this in our next episode. We are still discussing Faithful but Flawed. This was our episode of Laura's redemption journey. So be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, let's meet in the next episode. Bye.